Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Now let's get started with today's questions. So today's first question is asked by two people. One is Besharam Nari and another one is Ashish Nakhate. Well, Besharam Nari, quite a controversial name. But anyways, the question is, how do I start working as a freelancer? So folks, this question is asked to me by many people that how should I get into freelancing and how should I start freelancing? So let me answer you in a step-by-step fashion. The first step of getting into freelancing is identify your niche or identify what is your specialty. So first of all, identify your specialty. What do you like? What are you good into it? So probably the best way to know about that is ask to people around you, ask to your peer group, ask to your friend that what are you good in. Like if I talk about development or software development side, because I'm talking about freelancing here in software development. So maybe if you are a fresher, you don't know anything, then in that scenario, see what are you see your mark sheet. In your mark sheet, in which subject you are good at. Let's say you are good in data structures and algorithm or you are good in databases or you are good in programming. So choose your niche first. So identify what is your specialty. The second step would be to create a platform or identify or find a platform to showcase that specialty. Let's say you are good in designing, then there are many platforms like Dribbble or Fiverr where you can showcase your designing capabilities. If you are good in web designing, you can create some good websites on Dribbble, or if you are good in HTML and CSS designing, maybe you can create some mock website and create a portfolio site of your own. So find a platform to showcase that specialty of yours. The third step would be to help people in that particular specialty. So if someone is looking for a web designer, if any open source person is looking for web designer, there are many open source contributors or many open source web applications where they ask for designs, or they ask that if you can create a design for us, then join those open source project and give your expertise for free or help them for free, at least for a couple of projects, so that you should be known in community as a helper, as a giver. Because when you are solving problems of people, then only people will come to you for solutions, and probably they will pay money for you. People don't pay money for expertise, they pay money for solving their problems. So in order to make your brand name, do some help work or do some free work. Don't do work in less money, but do it for free as a community work, and showcase it on your platforms. Like if you have designed something, showcase it on Dribbble, that okay, I have designed this thing and my design is being used in this particular project. Or if you are a developer and you have contributed to any application, you can showcase it on your LinkedIn and GitHub profile that I am contributing to this particular open source project, so that you get your brand name. You have a brand name that as a freelancer that I have contributed to these particular things or these particular projects. So the third step would be to support other people to create your brand name. And now the fourth and final step would be to create your freelancer profile. So maybe you can create your own website as a freelancer, or you can go on websites like Upwork, Guru, or any other freelancer website like Fiverr also is there. So you can create a profile on these websites as a freelancer, and there you can give you can write about your specialization, you can give the links of your open source contributions, and you can give the links of whatever things you have done for the community, and showcase that this is my specialization and these are my rates per hour, and I am available for work. And I can assure you that people once know about this thing, they will come to you and ask you for the work. So these were my 4 to 5 steps guide to get into freelancing. Next question is from Saket. He's asking, did course certificates from Udemy or Coursera actually help you get a job in the IT industry? Saket, not Udemy, but degree course certificates from Coursera will help you in getting job in IT industry, as I have seen that many companies are promoting or encouraging their employees to do courses from Coursera. Many companies have tie-up with Coursera and they are encouraging their employees to do courses from Coursera, and Coursera offers courses from various universities. So you get a proper degree, like distance learning degree from Coursera in any topic or any framework, sorry, not framework, I would say in any particular master's degree or bachelor's degree from in any subject from online universities, online international universities. You can get it from Coursera. However, Udemy just provide completion certificates. So there's Udemy is good for learning something, but it won't help you much in getting job if you are a fresher or if you are coming from a non-IT background. Then Udemy course will not help you much in getting a job. It will help you in learning something. So if you are already in a job and you want to upskill yourself, and you have you have less money or your budget is of less money, then in my opinion you should go for Udemy or Pluralsight. But if you are coming from non-IT field and want to get into IT field, then you should do a course from Coursera or Upgrad, which will give you a full-fledged degree course from any university. Most of the universities are foreign universities, so you will get a foreign university degree from Coursera, foreign university online degree from Coursera. So it will of course help you in getting job in IT industry. Next question is from Richa. She's asking, where is it right to search for an IT job for a fresher at this time, in Noida or in Hyderabad? Richa, it's best wherever you are getting the job. So because of this COVID-19 situation, all the companies are doing their hiring online. By doing their hiring online, I mean that they are asking people to join from the location wherever they are residing right now. They are not calling them to office. So it doesn't matter whether you are joining a Noida company or a Hyderabad company. If you are getting a job, it's fine. You can join that company, because you will have to go to that company after this lockdown situation ends. However, anyway, you have to move to the location when the lockdown ends. So decide the location on your choice or your comfortability and the company which you are joining. So if you are getting an opportunity in a big MNC in Noida, then join that company. If you are getting an opportunity in big MNC in Hyderabad, then join that company. So frankly speaking, location doesn't matter much. What matter more is what is the kind of company you are joining and what are your roles and responsibilities in that company. And in current situation, I would say that wherever you are getting the job, just go and join it. Next question is from Nandlal Kumar. He's asking, how do I transform myself from a desktop application developer to a web application developer? So Nandlal, I am assuming that you are a Windows desktop application developer, because that might be the reason you have contacted me to ask for suggestion to how to transform yourself into web application developer. So let me give you a 2 or 3 step plan. So for the first step would be that identify the web framework which you want to learn. So again, assuming that you are a .NET developer, .NET desktop developer, so I'm assuming that you know C# and you know .NET. So in my opinion, the best way to get into web development would be, first you should start learning .NET Core or .NET 5, which is the latest version of .NET, the cross platform, and then you should learn about ASP.NET, ASP.NET Core Web API. So you should know about this, because this way you will be learning about backend technologies like writing RESTful services using ASP.NET Core Web API. So you can learn about that. Then you can learn about Blazor, or you can learn about ASP.NET Core MVC. So both of these are front-end web UI frameworks. So you can learn about any of these. Or if you are good in JavaScript, but since you are saying that you are a desktop developer, so I'm assuming that you don't have much idea about JavaScript. So in my opinion, you should either learn ASP.NET Core MVC, or you should go to Blazor. You should start learning Blazor, because moving from desktop to web using Blazor will be much more easier, as there will be no or very less JavaScript involved. So you just have to learn about C# only. So your previous knowledge of C# will be useful in learning Blazor. So by learning Blazor, ASP.NET Core Web API and .NET 5, you will be able to know about all the full stack web application development technologies. So first of all, make a plan of learning these things. So that will be number one step, that make a plan of learning ASP.NET Core Web API, Blazor and .NET 5. The second step would be to join a community. Probably you can join my live coding sessions, which I do on every Saturday at 11:30 AM IST. So you can join my live coding session where I am developing a full stack web application using Blazor, ASP.NET Core and Web API. So either you can join my live coding sessions, or there are many people who are developing full stack web applications, or there are many open source full stack web applications code present. So probably join those community or join those project as a contributor. Maybe start small by adding one small feature, or by adding one small screen, or maybe you can add even do some bug fixes. So you have to go on GitHub and check that which all open source applications are asking for contributors, or you can look for good first timer issues. So you can find those things and you can contribute to open source projects in those web technologies which you are learning, that is ASP.NET Core Web API, Blazor or .NET 5. So if you face any kind of open source issues, you can in my opinion you should support this. Don't be shy about asking help also. So if you are facing issues in solving that problem, probably talk to the community. Every community or every open source project has their own community in the form of their Gitter chat or their Discord chat. So join that community and ask questions there, that if I want to contribute to you guys, how can I contribute, and then contribute to that those projects. That way you will build your online portfolio and online brand, which you can showcase on your resume, that yes, I have contributed. Not only I have learned the web technologies, I have also contributed to these web technologies. So the second step would be, of course, contributing to open source application in the technologies which you are learning. And the third and final step would be, of course, showcasing all those things on your resume. So once you learn those things, contribute to the open source project and showcase all those things on your resume, you will be transformed to a web application developer from a Windows developer or desktop developer. Next question is from Chiranjeevi. He's asking, is it good to start Python at 27 for a 5-year experienced network engineer professional? Is it wise to choose the network automation field now? Chiranjeevi, the answer to both of your questions is yes. For a 5-year experienced network professional, it is good to learn Python, because Python is used in most of the automations. So if you, as you are saying that is it wise to choose network automation field right now? Yes, it is completely wise, because more and more companies are moving towards automation nowadays. So there are more and more opportunities of automation engineers in all the fields, be it networking, be it automation testing, or be it RPA. So in my opinion, yes, it is the right time to learn Python and learn network automation using Python if you have interest in that, and if you are already a network professional, so your background will be very useful for doing this network automation using Python. So answer to both your question is yes. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be answered in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions with hashtag Techie Tuesdays on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care, bye bye.